Hello, everyone. Wyatt Tomlin here. Earlier today, some breaking news was just developed that President Joe Biden has officially dropped out of the presidential race and has endorsed Vice Presidential Vice President Kamala Harris just ahead of the Democratic National Convention for 2024, leaving it a open race. Okay, so this is a open race for the Democratic nominee for the first time since 2020, obviously. And here was the president's official statement. He said, "My fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Vice President Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it has been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together to beat Donald Trump. Let's do this." So, okay, so personally, I'm saddened by this news. It's kind of disconcerting to me, but it just feels despondent. I feel kind of a little let down. I mean, Biden has pledged to stay in the race, but I guess he changed his mind because many Democrats, many notable Democrats, have reached out to him and tried to persuade him to step aside and pass the torch, is what they said. Even a new campaign recently arose called Pass the Torch Joe, and is basically uh, acknowledging that President Joe Biden was a very successful president, but it's time to move on. And it's mostly due to because of his age. That's the only reason why all these people came out. Even Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Senator Sherrod Brown, Joe Manchin. I'm trying to think of another one. Adam Schiff in California. Some of these very, very liberal and progressive figures in today's politics have uh, tried to convince Biden to step down, and he has done it. And at first, I just want to say I read this wrong. I thought, my fellow Democrats, I thought he said, "I am going to accept this nomination because he was under intense scrutiny for the past, what, week after he was after he got COVID, after it was confirmed that he had gotten COVID again. There has been rumors about him stepping aside again, and I didn't think he was actually going to do it. I really didn't think. I thought he was going to go through with this and beat Donald Trump. So, like I said, it's very conflicting thoughts I have on this. On one hand, this could essentially revitalize the Democratic Party and offer a new candidate who is obviously very younger and is a lot younger than Donald Trump. She is in her 50s, so she is very, very young and youthful and energetic and enthusiastic and competent. And she has very good, I'm trying to look for the word here, stamina, very good stamina. She is very vigilant. She is very alert. And personally, I don't think Joe Biden was declining mentally. I think people gave him too much shit, frankly, and I think it's really sad how they treat the president. But and I think Donald Trump is the one who's cognitively impaired. Um, but um, obviously, they cannot use that excuse anymore. No longer can they use that excuse because Joe Biden has officially stepped aside, and he is passing the baton to Kamala Harris. So they cannot say that anymore. That is no longer an excuse. And by the way, Donald Trump is the old candidate now. Donald Trump is the one who is old. So yeah, let's get that out of the way. I posted that already. Donald Trump is too old. All right, so this is the new thing that people should be saying. Since Joe Biden is too old when he's only 3 years older than Donald Trump, and now we have a 50-year-old running against a 80-year-old. So you tell me who's old between those two. And the good part about this is I think Kamala Harris is going to be very, very confrontational towards Donald Trump during the debate, if they do have a debate between like I said, the Democratic nominee, the expected Democratic nominee. We don't know for sure if she's going to be the Democratic nominee because it's up to the Democratic electors. But she will most likely be the Democratic nominee. I mean, I would bet money on it. But let's all admit, Kamala Harris in a room with Donald Trump, she's going to wipe the floor with his orange ass. I'm just telling you right now, she's going to go straight for the throat, just like she did Mike Pence in 2020 during the vice presidential debate. And I really sincerely mean this. This is something that that can no longer be an excuse that, oh, Biden's too old. But we have someone who's very, very smart, who has experience, who is well qualified, who is a very pragmatic individual and charismatic individual, and who actually acts like a real person. Kamala Harris acts like a living, mobilized person. I mean, she has a sense of humor. You know, she's just the way she talks. She's like America's auntie, is kind of what I'm trying to say. And she's just she's a very happy person. I don't think people really realize this. I don't think this comes to mind when Kamala Harris comes up in a conversation. I don't think people think that she's happy. When she's very at ease. She's very laid back. She's very chill. You know, she's just kind of, she's low key, okay? She's like Barack Obama. She's very articulate like Barack Obama is. She knows how to use her words. She's a smooth talker. She's calm. You know, she doesn't lose her cool. And speaking of not losing her cool, this ad has resurfaced, which was actually from Kamala Harris's 2020 presidential campaign. Yes, Vice President Harris did run for president in 2020, and obviously was unsuccessful because Joe Biden got the nomination. But this is an ad that has resurfaced just today after following Biden's announcement that he's dropping out. So let's take a look at this, and it very, very much resonates with today's world and the candidates in this ticket, this presidential ticket this year. So let's go ahead and watch this. I reposted it on my channel, by the way, so let's go ahead and give this a watch. Oh, it's no longer available. Well, that's just great. The audio is no longer available. Huh, that's crazy. Well, I'll just look it up again. How about that? Threads. Let's see if I can find it. I think Midas Touch might have put it on here. But yeah, this is very, very accurate when it comes to today's world. So let's see this ad comparing Vice President Harris and Donald Trump. So let's look.
He's a world leader in temper tantrums. She never loses her cool.
That's right.
She prosecuted sex predators. He is one.
Grab him by the...
She shut down for-profit colleges that swindled Americans. He was a for-profit college.
At Trump University, we teach success.
Literally. He's owned by the big banks. She's the attorney general who beat the biggest banks in America and forced them to pay homeowners $18 billion. He's tearing us apart. She'll bring us together. This is Trump. And in every possible way, this is the anti-Trump. So if that's what you're looking for in your next president, there's really only one. Kamala.
That is an absolutely powerful start. Okay, this is very powerful because the fact that she said anti-Trump, a lot of people don't like Trump, okay? Trump is very, very unpopular, and so is Biden. I'll admit it. So is Biden. Frankly, I don't know how Biden is. Biden's underrated, but I'm just gonna say it. Biden's one of the most underrated presidents we've ever had. But this is off to a good start because this is anti-Trump, and I think people who complained about Joe Biden's age but do not want Donald Trump to be president will potentially vote for Kamala Harris, and I do not see why they will not, because the only reason, according to swing voters and voters, Democrats who refuse to support Joe Biden in this 2024 presidential election, their only explanation for not supporting Joe Biden was because of his age, because of how old he was. That was the only thing they had a problem with Joe Biden. Now that Kamala Harris is running, I think we've got a good shot. We've got a good shot at running. But on the other hand, there is some bad parts. This is kind of I don't know, a conundrum of some sort. This is kind of a difficult way to set it apart and describe what it is, because it could go both ways. Um, they could say it could look very disorganized and very disoriented because we're only 3 months until the election and Biden's dropping out, um, leaving the Democratic nominee uncertain. We still technically don't know who the Democratic nominee is. And if you swing over here to Wikipedia real quick, I just want to say this: Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are right here, and then to be decided is the Democratic nominee. So the Democratic convention is actually in August, so it's in quite a while. The Democratic convention is a while. They already had the Republican convention, but I seriously, I mean this from the heart. I really do. I do not know how somebody can vote for Donald Trump. I really, really don't. It upsets me how you have, now Kamala Harris, who is not old. Okay, she's not old. She's youthful. She's young. She's very meticulous and elegant in her speaking and her words. She, like I said, she has a sense of humor. She has a character. She has a decent character. She has a background. Okay, she was a California prosecutor, which takes a lot of effort. I think she was part of the Los Angeles County prosecutor. Then she was one for the entire state of California. But I just don't know how vacuous people can be to consider supporting Donald Trump. Look at this. Look at this. It's funny how I have this highlighted conveniently. I didn't even mean to do this. But, I mean, this guy has indictments. This guy's under federal investigation. This guy stole top secret White House documents. This guy took, like, what was it, $8 million from foreign countries. He was found liable for sexual assault by a jury. He was found guilty of paying off a literal porn star who he had sex with while his third wife was pregnant. I mean, I just don't see the big dilemma here. How people are so undecided about who to vote for. I just do not see it. I cannot see it, and I refuse to see it. Because Biden and Trump, I still couldn't see it. I still couldn't see how Donald Trump could be chosen over Joe Biden, or people be undecided and not decide on voting for Biden over someone like Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has always been like that throughout his life. He's always been an arrogant piece of shit. I mean, let's be honest. He's been a very conceited individual who's always been after himself. Okay, he's always been after himself. I mean, after 9/11 happened, okay, this is just an example. This just exemplifies Donald Trump's character. After 9/11, and when the Twin Towers were struck, Donald Trump literally went on the news and bragged and boasted about his building now being the tallest after the World Trade Center had collapsed, because Trump's building was the second tallest, and now after 9/11, he bragged that it was the tallest. I mean, who does that? What regular person would not instantly offer their condolences and their sympathies and just empathize with the victims of that event on 9/11, instead of bragging about the fact that their tower is the biggest now. I mean, really, this guy has 91 felony counts against him. He's been convicted on every single 34 felony counts by independent juries. Independent. It's not Biden doing this. But Donald Trump's campaign is all about exacting retribution against his political opponents. And it doesn't even make any sense either, because Biden did not order Donald Trump to have all these charges against him. I mean, he did this to himself. It's sad. But this has been a very, very productive term. I mean, if you just look at some of these accomplishments, I mean, look at all these accomplishments. I mean, you can look them up for yourself. You can look up what has Biden-Harris done. And you can look up what Donald Trump has done. Donald Trump hasn't done shit in his presidency. He gave like a $1 million tax cut to the ultra-rich and ultra-wealthy. I mean, that's all he did during his presidency. He did nothing for the working class, for the middle class, for unions. He did nothing for the people who fight like hell and sweat all day just to put food on their table for their kids. I mean, this guy does not relate with any voters. This Donald Trump does not. He was handed his wealth by his father at a young age. And Donald Trump grew up a billionaire. Donald Trump hasn't worked a day in his damn life, okay? But we have like the biggest infrastructure bill under this administration, under President Biden's administration. We have capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. We are taking historic investments and helping to mitigate the issues of climate change, and we are taking action. We have the strongest economy in the world right now, okay? Don't be deceived by all these people saying our economy's shit, okay? Because it's not. It is the highest developing economy in the world, and we have outpaced China, okay, for the first time in 40 years under this administration. Now that is some pretty damn good, successful progress, and I really hope Kamala Harris exercises these credentials that they have done together under this administration. I mean, this has only been 3.5 years, okay, under President Biden, and we've got 14 million jobs. The stock market is the highest it has ever been in American history ever. The S&P and the Dow S&P Jones or whatever the hell it is the highest it's ever been. I mean, really, I just don't understand how people can not distinguish the difference between these two. So, I just wanted to take a look at one more thing. So, right here, there's already been a poll conducted, or, well, it's just released. It was conducted on the 16th to 18th, but it was just released, and it shows Donald Trump is leading Harris by only 3 points. And the same poll who did it the same day had Biden losing to Trump by 5 points. So this is something. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And like I said, we still have 3 months left. And the debate between Harris and Trump, I am looking forward to. I really am, because it's official now. It's probably most likely gonna be Harris. Okay, let's be honest. I mean, who else are they gonna put besides Harris? And I'm really hoping, personally, I'm hoping that she picks Gavin Newsom as her vice president. That would be an absolute amazing duo right there. But it would be a reliable candidacy, a reliable ticket. So Democrats need to get their arse up, and they need to start campaigning for Kamala Harris. They need to, and this is another thing. Joe Biden is very humble, okay? He's been very, very, very humble within the last 4 years, and it's probably because of his age. I mean, really think about it. Joe Biden's 83 years old, so stop giving him shit, okay? He's 83 years old. I mean, really think about it. He's 83 years old. He still rides bikes and everything. But this was one bad thing about about Joe Biden. He didn't confront Donald Trump during the debate. Okay, he did not confront Donald Trump. He had so many opportunities to call out Donald Trump. He had so many opportunities to go through go right at the jugular of Donald Trump. He could have pointed out some of these things that he said about people. He wasn't very vigorous when it came to attacking Donald Trump, and that, I think, Kamala Harris has. That's one of the good things about Kamala Harris entering this race. So, without further ado, I know this video has been long already, but I am going to offer my prediction so far. So, we've got safe blue is California, obviously, which is her home state, which doesn't matter because the Democrat would win California regardless. Hawaii is safe for Kamala Harris, and when I say safe, I mean I'm predicting, according to my prediction, it's going to go for Kamala Harris by over 15 points. Okay, so let's fill out all these states that will go for Kamala Harris by 15 points or more, according to my prediction. So we have this right here. I'm trying to think of Delaware. I think Delaware will be likely, actually. Maine's 1st congressional district. We have Illinois. I think Illinois will be safe for Kamala. I really do. I think it might have been likely under 15 points, but over 5 points for Joe Biden. But now I think it's going to be safe. Okay. Let's see what else is here. Let's do all the safe states for Donald Trump. Okay, so I'm gonna fill these out. And like I said, this can go both ways. This could be hurtful to the Democratic Party, or it could help them, because people have been saying for months that Biden needs to step out, and Donald Trump needs to step out. Donald Trump really needs to step out, and I just don't understand how they got their way. Okay, Democrats and all these people ridiculing and saying all this stuff, lambasting Biden for being too old. They've got their way. They finally got their way. Biden dropped out. So what is their excuse now? They have no excuse now, okay? They have none. But yeah, okay. So I'm going to put likely. New York, New Jersey, I'd say is likely for Kamala Harris, meaning under 15%, but over 5%. I'm saying this. New Jersey is probably about maybe 14%, 13% for Harris. And like I said, this is completely hypothetical. We don't know if Harris is going to be nominated yet, but it's most likely. And New York, I say about 13 points, 12 points. Because New York has been progressively getting more Republican, arguably. I mean, in the 22 midterms, Republicans did a lot better than they were expected. Well, not expected, but a lot better than they had previously done. So, Indiana is safe for Donald Trump. Missouri, safe for Donald Trump. Kamala Harris wins Delaware. Oh, crap. Delaware is likely. Washington, I'd say, is safe for Harris. Oregon, I'd say likely for Harris. Okay. Texas, likely for Donald Trump. Ohio, likely for Donald Trump. Iowa's safe, I think, for Donald Trump. Iowa is just too far gone. But yeah. And Kamala Harris has always been petulant about issues that Americans care about, okay? She's more progressive than Biden was. And unpopular issues, like, just, Kamala Harris is more vigorous when it comes to issues. She's more open to different things. You know, Joe Biden really wasn't a progressive. He was kind of a centrist, to be honest. He was more in the middle than most Democrats were. And he was a lot more conservative than Barack Obama was, okay? Let's be honest. Barack Obama was more liberal than Joe Biden was, and ever has been. But, I mean, just issues like the marijuana issue and certain things when it comes to the rich and taxing the rich, Joe Biden wasn't very avid about, but Kamala Harris is, and I think she will very much excite the base. I think she will excite the Democratic Party, which may give her a shot to win. Okay, so I'm going to put Colorado is likely for Kamala Harris. Virginia's hard, but I think it's going to be very on the dot. I think it's going to be like 5%, like exactly 5%, not even 5.1%. I think it's going to be 5% for Kamala Harris at this time, at this particular moment. Okay, so next up is the state of New Mexico. New Mexico, I'm going to say Kamala wins that by likely margin. Same with Minnesota. Same with New Hampshire. Let's see here. Yep. And then Nebraska's at large. Nebraska's first congressional district will probably be likely, but Nebraska at large, I think will. Actually, I take that back. Kansas is going. I think it's going to go likely. I think Kansas might be to the left for the first time in a very long time of Iowa. I think it'll be the left of Iowa as of now in this particular moment. But yeah. So. Alright, next up is the state of Florida. Florida, I think, will be likely for Donald Trump. You got the Cuban voters there and some of those other demographics that don't typically happen in many other states. I mean, they've got a very big Cuban population there, and they have been shifting towards the Republicans. So I'd say that as of now is Donald Trump has the advantage there. Maine, I'd say, is going to be likely now since Kamala Harris is the nominee. I think it's going to be likely. And again, people don't like Donald Trump. People don't want Donald Trump. And I think Harris has a very good opportunity to make, to state her opinion on things and to offer her solution for some of the problems that we have in America and offer a more progressive approach, because if she's the president, then, she has the control. It's not Biden. And there's things that Kamala Harris and Biden disagree with, and most people would, I think, support Kamala Harris's stances on those certain things that Biden and Harris disagree with. Next is the state of North Carolina. I think it'll be very, very, very close. I think Kamala Harris will try to get the vote out there, but I just think I think that Donald Trump has the advantage there right now. Okay, next up is the state of Michigan. I think it's going to be very close, but I'm hoping Kamala Harris will win there. I just think those people in 2016, that very small 0.2% of people who voted for Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton in 2016, I just can't see them voting for Donald Trump. I really can't, especially when Kamala Harris is here and Biden, the guy who's too old, is not there anymore. So, I mean, they have nothing to say now. And Donald Trump, Maine's 2nd Congressional District, we'll put that there for Donald Trump. So Alaska, likely. Alaska's been a little unpredictable lately. I mean, a Democrat won there. They have a current Democrat congresswoman, Mary Patola, and she won by like 10 points in 2022. She's a Democrat, and I don't know. Who knows about that? Who knows about Alaska anymore? Alaska's kind of the wild card of America, essentially, I think is kind of where I'm getting to this. Okay, now up to the next parts. Okay. I think I'm going to put Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District as for Kamala Harris, a lean for Kamala Harris. Joe Biden won here by 6 points, which was a likely margin in 2020. After being a lean Republican district, it has, like I said, flipped to Biden. And I think they're going to hold, especially with Kamala as the nominee. Next up is the state of Georgia. I think Georgia is just, I don't know. It just seems like they're not too supportive of Biden or Harris. So I think as of now I'm going to have it as lean. Okay, next up we have the states remaining a total of 46 electoral votes. These 4 states will be the deciding factor of the presidential election. We have Nevada with its 6 electoral votes, Arizona with its 11 electoral votes, Wisconsin with its 10 electoral votes, and Pennsylvania with its 19 electoral votes. So first of all, I'm gonna put Pennsylvania as 19 electoral votes for Kamala Harris. Again, this is a state that is very union state, and I think personally just some notable Democratic figures in the state of Pennsylvania, like Governor Josh Shapiro or the Attorney General or Secretary of State, and some of those popular Democrats there. I think John Fetterman. All they have to do is get out, and I think they can put Kamala Harris over the top. I seriously hope this is going to be an innovating campaign. I hope Democrats put everything into this campaign because, I mean, we have Donald Trump running. This is something that's not going to go over well if Donald Trump wins this thing. I mean, everything that he says. I mean, he's just saying it himself. He's taking credit for overturning Roe versus Wade. He's going to institute Project 2025. He says he knows nothing about Project 2025 when, like, what, 90% of the people who organized and illustrated Project 2025 were in Donald Trump's cabinet. So when he says he knows nothing about Project 2025, that's bullshit. But next up, we have the state of Nevada. I think it's to be very close. I think Kamala Harris has the advantage. I really do. I really think I think she has the advantage over Donald Trump at this particular moment in time. Next up is the state of Arizona. And Kamala Harris, as of now, I'm putting her over. And it's mostly because I'm just trying to be, I can't think anymore. I'm trying to be optimistic about this. This is mostly coming from optimism. And let's put Wisconsin in Kamala Harris's territory as well. And she can afford to lose Wisconsin. Okay, she can afford to win Wisconsin and lose Arizona, for instance, and still make it over 270. She still gets 7 over the the minimum required to be elected president. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that she has a chance? Do you think that this is better for the Democratic nominee? Do you think this ascends the chances of us defeating Donald Trump, or does it make Donald Trump have a bigger chance of winning? Let me know down below. Let me know what you think about this prediction. Let me know. I mean, really, I mean, we can afford to lose Nevada, okay? We can afford to lose Nevada, and Kamala Harris still wins. But it's all going to come down to Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, just like it did in 2016, just like it did in 2020. And I'm hopeful, and I have faith in these people, in these 3 particular states, that they will show up against Donald Trump, because they do not want Donald Trump to be in the White House again. They saw how detrimental it was the first time and how disastrous it was the first time. I mean, there's not really a choice in this election, I don't think. But again, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is still running this election, and who knows what, you know, if he's still trying to take votes away from the Democratic nominee, because he was definitely hurting Biden when he was in there. He was not benefiting Biden. He was benefiting Trump and hurting Biden. Hopefully that doesn't carry on over into this scenario. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. See you guys in the next one. This is pretty big news. I was surprised about this when I heard this earlier today. I was at work, and I couldn't believe it, really. I really couldn't believe it. And I knew it was going to be all over. It was all over the radio. But I have hope, man. I really do. I've kind of began to have a closer connection with God recently. And I haven't been too religious, you know, all my life. And I didn't believe in God for like a year or two, but I believe in God now. I have found God, and I just do not think in I just cannot see God letting Donald Trump win. I really can't. I really can't. Because Donald Trump does not embody what God stands for. And I think, hopefully, Kamala Harris will prevail and defeat Donald Trump and his dystopian agenda for the country. And hopefully it'll be the end of MAGA Trumpism. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think. I just want to take a moment to say that I appreciate President Biden and the 4 years that he has done. And it's been a very successful term, regardless of what people say. He's been treated horribly during this term. And I just hope the best is yet to come, and I just think our best days are ahead of us. I still have hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel, guys. But yeah, get together, organize. Please help spread the word and get Kamala Harris elected. Kamala Harris is qualified, okay? And even if you don't like Kamala Harris, she's running against Donald Trump. She's running against Donald Trump. Donald Trump may be a good comedian, okay? He may have been a good comedian or a good entertainer, but this guy is running for president of the United States. I mean, come on, guys. Kamala Harris has been a prosecutor. She has experience when it comes to criminal justice, and to getting people, you know, getting people held accountable for their actions, and that's what she specialized in. And I think she really, really aligns with American voters. And I'm probably going to be donating $25 to the campaign to Harris if she opens up a donation. I think she has already. I think she posted something on Instagram already, or Threads or something, saying that she's already opened up a donation. Let's see here. Yep, right here. Kamala Harris. I think later tonight, I'm going to donate to Kamala Harris, because I'm really passionate about this, and we need to. We have no choice as a country. It's either this, Kamala Harris, who is, like I said, a decent human being with good character. She knows what she's doing. When Donald Trump's going to completely stack his cabinet with unexperienced people. I mean, literally, Kid Rock is going to be in Donald Trump's cabinet if he gets elected. I mean, be real, guys. Be real. But sorry this video got so long. I love you guys. See you guys in the next one.